$1,000 to buy, one dress. So I go to, I go to, so I go to 3 stores. I go to consignment stores, and I have told my daughter from when she was very young, I would show her if we go to a, big box store like Walmart, $20 will only garner you like one toy.
Talk to us and tell us why it is important to have your children in mind when making major financial decisions. We're talking about getting mortgages, investment decisions, like where you want to put your money, entrepreneurial decisions, opening businesses, and even decisions on acquisition of new assets. Especially for those of us who are diasporans living here in the US, but also with an eye in the 254. Washeke.
Okay, I think before I respond to that, there's something I think it's important on red flags that I believe we need to cover is on licensing. A lot of these products that are sold as get rich quick or one size fits all financial investment, if you look at the licensing they have, that will give you an idea whether it's the right path for you or not. Some of them, they have the very basic, and there's really no oversight, meaning that the government is not really paying attention to what they're doing, if their products are doing what they're claiming them to do. So I always say, for starters, is go sit down with a financial advisor. And nowadays they're fee-based, meaning they charge you a percentage based on your assets, not on how much you're trading. And you can actually check out the credibility of that financial advisor. There's a website, it's called FINRA Broker Check. So FINRA is a financial industry oversight. So it looks at each individual, like, if a client reports that they stole money from them or they recommended a product that did not suit them, it's on that website. So you can go and see that Alia user Wongo is there for everybody to see. So I always say, if look at licensing, if they have the very basic, you need to do a lot of due diligence to make sure that they're actually recommending something that suits to you. And second, go sit with a licensed financial advisor before you commit to talking to them, even if it's just one sitting. Look up their credibility on FINRA Broker Check. I will send the link and it can be posted here. Look at their, see if there have been any complaints, if they've ever been fined, if that person has been banned from the industry, or any penalties that have been assessed to that person. That's what I always tell people. And you'll be surprised. A lot of the companies, one of the benefits they provide people is the ability to speak to a licensed financial advisor. That person will sit down with you, look at how much you earn, what your bills are. Do you have an emergency fund? Are you putting enough in your retirement? If you're in a high deductible healthcare plan, are you putting money in the HSA, healthcare savings account, which actually reduces your taxable income? Like, he will look at your whole thing before he recommends what you can invest in based on, one, your income, your goals, and your risk profile. So if someone is not doing all that with you and just is recommending a product that you go buy and they haven't done all that with you, I would think twice. I would say, you need to do more due diligence and figure out if this is something that really suits you or not.
Okay. All right. Good. So check the licensing, like if this is a person who's not licensed to sell whatever they're saying, or whatever they're selling does not require a license, red flag. So just a couple of things to have in mind before committing to something that someone is selling. So back to our children. Why is it important to have your children in mind when making major financial decisions? We're talking about buying homes, acquiring mortgages, investment decisions, and even decisions on acquisitions of new assets. especially for those of us who live in the diaspora but still have an eye in Kenya? Washeke.
So I think it goes back to what we're discussing today. We're talking about financial literacy. You're not going to wait when your kids are adults to teach them financial literacy. So it starts when they're very young. And some of the things that you can do, which this is what I have done with my own child. When we go grocery shopping, the minute she was able to understand numbers and the relationship of numbers, she will go see it. This one is, this fruit is $20 or $3 a pound. The other one is $4 a pound, and it's the same thing. Maybe one is a store brand, the other one is another high value brand, but it's the same and the quality is the same. Then we pick the cheaper one. That is how you teach them about finances, like when they're very, very young. Because kids learn like by doing. You're not gonna sit down one day and then give them all this advice. But if you do day by day, those are the simple things. Another thing that I have done is thrifting. Like I love shopping. I love high quality things, but the Kikuyu in me will not let me spend $1,000 to buy one dress. So I go to Yes, I go to 3 stores, I go to consignment stores, and I have taught my daughter from when she was very young. I would show her, if we go to a big box store like Walmart, $20 will only garner you like one toy. But if we go to a consignment store or thrift store, that $20 you can have 10 things, and they're good quality. Probably the kid only used once or twice. So that's how they start learning, You can find value for your money. Those are just the simple steps. Also, one way I explained saving when she was 3, I used the analogy of hibernation, how bears hibernate. I told her, human beings hibernate too. Our hibernation is retirement. But unlike bears who have, all the fat stored in their bodies to use when they're in hibernation, we don't have that capability. So for us to prepare hibernation is that we have to save. So if when you get $100, from grandma or your uncle for your birthday, don't spend the whole $100 in, one go. You can spend 80 or spend 50 and keep that 50. Like now, when she gets money, she doesn't want to spend her money. She says, no, when we go to the store, she wants to spend my money. She doesn't want to spend her money because I had taught her that value. And, sometimes we think kids don't see or understand, but they see and understand more than we think they do.
Yes.
So those are just a few things that, you can do to start teaching your children the value of money. Another thing is, like our society and generation is more about instant gratification. Like, hey, you see something, you want it today. No, I think we should start showing our children, if I want that iPhone, I have to save for it. Come to me with a plan. I'm going to be doing laundry or chores in the house, and then that's how I'm going to earn my money. Now that I not that I need that iPhone and tomorrow we're going to go buy it. So let's teach our children delayed gratification, because otherwise we're going to be caught up in this society where it's very materialistic. We're always buying things that we don't even need, and then the next minute they're out by the curbside, we're throwing them away because we don't need them. Or clothes, we're buying all this fast fashion, and we only wear them for one season and they're trash. So it's also sustainable. It's also good for, the environment. And as, Annette is saying, kids, they learn by seeing. And if you involve them in everything, if they feel like they're part of the decisions that are being made at home, they're more likely to follow that, and it's going to stick with them. When they become adults, they'll have the same values, and they'll have this, the same lessons.